Hi guys, thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to be talking about 10 things you need to know if you're going to stay at the Great Wolf Lodge. If you're new to my channel, I like to cover different lifestyle topics, from Grow Collaborative unboxings to cleaning tips, recipes. I like to do DIYs and a lot of how-tos as well. So I hope you will enjoy this video on the Great Wolf Lodge.
So are you excited about the Great Wolf Lodge, Alan?
Oh yeah, looking forward to it.
Here we go.
So here we are pulling into the Great Wolf Lodge for check-in. Great Wolf has over 17 locations. This one is in LaGrange, Georgia. They're known for their indoor water parks. So the first thing to know about staying at the Great Wolf Lodge is the 1 o'clock check-in. It is well worth it if you're traveling with kids to get there at the 1 o'clock time so that you get a full day of swimming in. You just have to make sure that you have a bag packed with the bathing suits so that you can easily pull it out, because you're not going to be able to take all of your luggage into the hotel at 1 o'clock when you check in. Your room won't be ready until a little bit later. My second point, which is with a room reservation, you get to do the early check-in for the water park, but then we just stayed one night. But the next day, you get to use the water park the entire day, even when you've checked out of your room at 10 or 11. So that's awesome with kids, to keep them busy and let them have fun. Point number 3, all kids get a pair of wolf ears. I just absolutely love it. It reminds me of the Mickey ears. We didn't have any kids with us, but you know, it says Great Wolf Lodge on it. I asked for a pair of wolf ears, and they generously gave me a pair.
Looks like this wolf pack had 5. On a side note, you can download their app. The reviews weren't great for it, but it does have a schedule of events and the restaurants.
Point number 4, when you go to the water park, they provide puddle jumpers and life jackets, so you don't have to pack those. That'll save a lot of room. I was very impressed with the lifeguards on duty. They were vigilant in what they were doing. They switched out for shifts, so they were always fresh, and they were always constantly scanning the water to ensure the safety of all the children.
Another thing to note, towels are provided, but you have to scan your room key, and each person is only allowed 1 towel. You have to make sure to scan it back in when you're done.
I wanted to show you the backpack we had. We were planning on being at the outside pool, so I did take some sunscreen. One thing I did not do, but definitely, especially if you're going at the 1 o'clock time, or if you're planning on swimming after you've checked out of your room, make sure in your backpack that you have something to put your wet bathing suits in. They did have bathing suit spinners in the bathroom, but the ladies' spinner was not working. So at the water park, they do have lockers. We had to squeeze our backpack into the locker. We got the smallest locker. It was $12 for the locker rental for the day, and it barely fit in there. Like I said, I think if you had a snack bag, I would just leave that by my seat and nobody's going to mess with it. Point number 5. This was the first time I had ever had a wristband that was my door key to get into our hotel room. So when you check in, they give you a wristband, and the wristband is actually what you use for entry into the park, but it's also what you scan at your door to get into your hotel room. I thought that was super cool.
You can go to the water park at 1 o'clock, but you can't get into your room until between 3 and 4. They asked for our phone number, so we were looking for a text. Turns out at 2:38, we had gotten an email and missed it because we were looking for the text. And of course all your stuff is in the locker because you don't want it out at your seat. So when you go to go to your car, you leave all your bags in your car. When you go out to your car to get your bags, you need a cart. And they had some right there by the entrance, and we should have grabbed one of those. There were none. We had to park way out, and there were none by where we parked, but I was able to find one. So, just a couple things to note.
Point number 6. You can either get a standard room. I believe our room had 2 queen beds and a small, it had to be a single pull-out sofa. So ours would have comfortably slept 5. Since it was just the 2 of us, we had plenty of room. It would have been good for preteens and teens. They also have kids cabins. So if you had kiddos from the age of 4 to 12, I think the kids cabins would definitely be worth it because you have bunk beds, so all the kids could have their own space. That would be great.
This is like a Build-A-Bear, Alan. The creation station.
Nice.
Point number 7, the Paw Passes. They had different ones you could choose from, and it's kind of like a bundle. So you get activities bundled, and the more expensive the pass, the more activities you get to do. This is something, if my kids, were preteens, maybe even older elementaries, I would let them see this a good month or 2 ahead of time if you were planning your trip out, and I would let them save up for it. The really cool part about it is that they have a MagiQuest, which adds such a creative element to it. The kids get a wand, and they go throughout the whole hotel, and the wand activates different things, and they have a quest that they're doing. So that's really neat. And they had a leaderboard on the TV. You could see who was on the leaderboard, and then each day they have a ceremony where they recognize the kids that are the highest on the leaderboard. So that was pretty cool too. I think my guys would have really liked that.
You see that? She's collecting her points.
I think the older kids would really enjoy the MagiQuest competition, as well as the ropes course and the arcade. And for younger guys, I think they would really like the 9-hole putt-putt and the bowling. Number 8, you can bring food into the Great Wolf Lodge and to the water park. So that's awesome. We took a cooler full of drinks and a few snacks. But if I was traveling with kids, this would be loaded with healthy snacks and with drinks. You have a fridge in your room, and it will just save you a ton of money to be able to bring your own things in and even take them to the water park. And to me, you would not have to put this in a locker. It was safe enough. You could leave it at your chair and just have it there for your kids. Number 9, eating at the lodge. If you don't want to eat at a restaurant that night, on their app, they have the restaurants. And one of the restaurants, you actually could do a mobile order and simply go pick it up. And I guess you could eat at one of the tables that's located there or take it back to your room if you didn't want to get your kids back out. So that's always an option too. Make sure when you go for your 1 o'clock check-in, if you're planning on eating at the nicer restaurant that's at the Great Wolf Lodge, go ahead and make your reservation. That way you know you're going to get the time that you want. The Barnwood offered a family supper that served 4 and had 3 sides for $59. We went with the special and we just got one of them and split it, and it was plenty of food. Here's a picture after I took half of my food. We were there over Memorial Day weekend. I really appreciated the restaurant having a missing man table set up. This was the s'mores dessert that we shared, and oh my goodness, it was so good. Number 10, the gift shop. Oh my goodness, what a temptation. They had the cutest stuffed animals. They had a candy wall, which is part of that Paw Pass we were talking about.
The Kandee Corner. Oh my gosh, you gotta love it.
1 cup of candy costs $10, and there was so much candy to choose from. But if you got the Paw Pass, you got one of the cups of candy as a part of the Paw Pass. The gift shop obviously is pricey, and that's one of those things where I would tell my kids, you got to spend your own money, otherwise you could drop a fortune in there. I hope you got some helpful hints. It's definitely a fun place to visit. And after we went, my husband and I both got emails for discounts of 30, 40, and 50% off. So that's good too.